Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of the Puerto Rico Skyview channel. My name is Emmanuel Santiago, and before we begin with this real-world testing of these lenses, I want to give thanks to all of my subscribers. If you are viewing this video and you are not subscribed, please subscribe and help me with this channel. Now, I prepared real-world testing of the RF 15-35 and the 24-70 f2.8. They are both f2.8 glass, so they are pretty fast for zoom lenses. And the image quality from these two lenses is unbelievable. Canon has outdone themselves with RF mount, and the mirrorless system is taking advantage of these two lenses. I previously owned a 16-35 f2.8 Mark III and the 24-70 f2.8 as well in the EF configuration, and I ended up selling them both because I just could not believe the amount of detail, sharpness, the imperfections like chromatic aberration and vignetting. It is almost non-existent in this RF glass world right now. So I've prepared two tests, one in which I just shot B-roll with those two lenses and you will see images. I had this trip planned. I wanted to go to a local beach that is like 10 minutes away from my house, but the weather was completely overcast. It was completely overkill for video because it was raining, it was constant showers. And well, I took a little bit of B-roll sequences on my backyard so I could showcase the sharpness, the color, contrast that these glasses are able to produce in video. I decided to shoot all of my B-roll and all of these tests on the Canon C70 since it has that $11,000 sensor. With the DGO technology, I find that this is vastly superior to what the R5 and even the R5C has for video. In terms of photography, the R5 of course is my go-to camera, but in this video we're gonna focus just on the video side of things, since I know that pretty much everyone right now on the internet is looking at the video specs and trying to find a detailed review of these lenses for the video side of things. And yeah, you only find reviews for photography in these two cases. So since we had a lot of rain today, I just took the lenses inside in my office space. I set up a little bit of a Rubik's Cube toy because I found that it had this very small letters, so I wanted to see how much sharpness and how much detail the lenses could produce alongside with the Canon C70. All of these shots were shot at f2.8, and with the 15-35 I shot with the 15mm focal range, 24 and 35 as it is the longest that lens has. With the 24-70, I shot, of course, with the 24mm, with the 35mm, and with the 70mm, which is the farthest that lens can go. Now, at the very end of the test, I did zoomed by 400%, so you guys could see the amount of detail that these two lenses would produce when paired up with a camera like the C70 at 4K resolution. All of these shots were shot in RAW just to get the most of the color accuracy from the camera. And for the final comparison, I compared at 400% the 70mm focal range to the 35mm from the 15-35, which I had to scale up to 675% in order to get them to look identical, and there you will see a clear difference between these two lenses. So what do you think? I really want those comments to shine. I really want you to be the judges of what lens would you choose if you were starting out your RF glass lineup, or if you owned lenses. If you own lenses and you're searching for that high quality pro level zoom glass from Canon, which one of these two would you choose? In my case, I own both. I found that the 15 to 35 millimeters is a really loved lens of mine, because that 15 millimeter range and the quality that that lens produced all the way wide open is just amazing. I find that this lens is slightly more versatile than the 24 to 70 because it does not produce tons of bokeh so easily as the 70 millimeter focal range does. But let's say, for example, with the 15 to 35, the C70, that crop is almost completely gone. And when you multiply the 15 millimeter versus the crop, you end up getting around 22 to 24 millimeters of focal range, which is pretty much a standard focal range when you're filming or producing video. Now, the 24 to 70, it is very versatile as well. You get the 24 millimeters on the low end, which when you multiply, you get around 35 millimeters of focal distance, and it produces such a pleasing bokeh so easily. You don't have to be real up close with your subject. You can leave space between your subject and yourself to produce bokeh. The only drawback from the 24 to 70 is that while at 70 millimeters, you can get a lot of shakiness when using even the most heavy setup with the C70, because it is such a tight focal range. But if you're using, let's say, gimbal or a slider for that fact, you will be completely okay and you will produce amazing and beautiful results with this lens. So guys, tell me in the comment section below, will you pick one of these two lenses? They are so amazing. I can't believe that we're getting image stabilization on such a wide angle zoom like the 15 to 35, as well as the 24 to 70. I thought that glass on the EF version was almost next to perfect, but with this copy of the lens, I have found that the image quality is really stellar. As you can see in my previous tests. But I want to know your opinion. Please leave me your opinions on the comment section down below. If you would like a lens comparison on the RF mount that you cannot find on the internet, or some video aspect of these lenses that you would like to know further of, please leave me a comment down below, subscribe, and see you guys on the next video.